Not fair.
All right, guys. Where are you? Zuleika, you're in New York, right?
Yes, I'm locked down. I think you're locked down too, right?
Yes, here in California. Oh, wait, why is my camera not showing? All right.
I'll just say we can't see it.
I always have that little thing covering the camera, so that's
I need a
why.
green screen too.
Well, thank you for being here. We're gonna give a couple of minutes for people to arrive slowly, and let's introduce each other, I guess. My name is Vanessa. I am the founder of Latino World Travelers, and I'm hosting the virtual travel parties because we want to learn more about different countries and where our people Latinos have been. So here today we have Zuleika with us, and she's going to be introducing us to Sri Lanka, the island that no one ever hears about, right? But we're going to find out today. She's going to tell us everything about it. And then we have Serena. Introduce yourself.
Hey, from the Bronx, born and raised, love to travel. And I don't know, it's just me.
And then Mimi.
Hi, I'm here, putting my baby to sleep. I'm in New York, and I'm Vanessa's sister. And she loves to travel, so I had to get into traveling too.
Obligado.
Traveling with the
Exactly.
And then we have Janine here. I cannot see her anymore. It says she's here.
You're too loud.
Huh?
No, I was just closing the door to another room because it was too loud.
Oh, it's okay. So tell us, Zuleika, where are you in the picture that you sent us?
So that is actually Sri Lanka. It's the place that I took that photo in was called the Nine Arc Bridge, and it's one of the famous attractions that they have over there. It's really, really beautiful, especially if you can catch a glimpse of the place with the train passing by. Then you kind of have the ideal shot. But
And where is that again?
Very, very beautiful. This is in Ella. So Ella is one of the cities, one of the more famous cities that they have over there.
Is the train ride expensive?
No, actually, it's like $2. They have different, yeah. So there's a famous ride. The ride is from Kandy to Ella. It's supposed to be one of the most scenic views and rides in the world, and it really is really beautiful. The train has 3 different cabins: first class, second class, and third class. I think third class is probably like 50 cents, $1. There's no AC. Second class is a little bit nicer, no AC, windows open, but you can still take pictures while the train is moving. That's where you see those famous pictures
of people hanging.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I should have put that photo. No, too late. And then there's the first class, which if I would have known, I wouldn't have taken it because the windows are closed and there's AC. So the trick is to do maybe second class and be able to have the window open, take pictures, take videos, and that way you can have that experience that you want. Be aware, because everyone wants that photo hanging outside of the window, that there will be lots of people hanging by the doors trying to get it. But it's a 4-hour ride, 4-hour to 5-hour ride. So you'll have a chance.
And did the conductor tell you, okay, this is the shot, we're about to slow down the train, go out, or no?
Not at all, because they're just going as if it was just the MTA, you know?
Okay.
I will be scared.
No, it's not so bad. I mean, I didn't have the camera on my hand. You know, Manny was on at one of the doors, and I was on another door, and then I was just like, I'm like, hurry up, take the photo.
Do it for the gram.
Exactly. But there's so many turns and so many views that no one picture will look the same.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to
So
go.
that's like Kandy to Ella ride that everyone, talks about when they do go to Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka it's one of my favorite countries because it has so many things. It has beautiful animals and jungles, lots of safari, a lot of culture, so lots of dancing, um, wonderful exotic food. I love the food over there. I never thought that I would like Indianish food because India is right next to Sri Lanka. It's an island. Sri Lanka is an island right below Sri Lanka. So I didn't expect to love the food, but I did. It's very, very flavorful. So it has dancing, it has music, it has religion. You see a lot of the cows just walking in the street. They let them out. The cows do their thing. They come right back home. They have lots of animals and safaris. They have beaches, beautiful, beautiful beaches. What I did notice about the beaches is that you're not going to find like very blue highland beaches, but it's very scenic. A lot of little islands that you can see from afar. So that's really nice. Also, you can rent motorbikes over there. When I went to Central America, it was a little different because we would have like colectivos that you just get on. You know, you can't really rent a bike, or they'll be very, very expensive to me, like $20 a day. When in Thailand and the Philippines, you're used to renting them for $5, $4 a day. So, so I feel like it has a little bit of everything, and that's why I really love the island. So we were able to go to about 10 cities, I would say, in the north and the south. And it's small enough that you can travel by train or by bus, and you can get around pretty easily. I think we spent 3 weeks over there, and we saw quite a few places and did a bunch of things out there.
So one of the things that Sully does is that when she travels, she only books the flight to go and to come back, but she doesn't book the hotels, transportation, or anything. She books it in the moment when she arrives. So tell us a little bit about that and your experience with that there.
So when I did my first backpacking trip ever, I had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just got out of a relationship and just left. And I booked my first night at my hostel, which I've never been to in my life, on the plane. And then, yeah, that was it. So after I did that, and I had such a great experience out in those countries, in that country, I went to Spain and Portugal. I thought, wow, like I love being able to go to a place and deciding when to leave or whether to stay for 3 or more days. So since then, that's what I've done. I book my flight. Maybe I would book the one night, or whatever city I decide to stay in, I'll book that one night. And then from there, I will decide like, oh, I like it here. Let me book another day. Oh, I still like it here. Oh, I don't really like it anymore. I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of bored. Let me go on Hostelworld or Booking.com. Let me find another city to go to. I'll book it. I'll book that place. And the reason I did that is because when you're over there, a lot of the times the places are cheaper. So I book on Booking.com or Hostelworld.com in the beginning when I don't know the place. Once I'm there and I'm walking around, I'm going to the beaches, I'm meeting other people. People kind of let me know, okay, this is the hostel that I stayed in. It's really nice. Or there's a guest house down here. It's really cheap. It's really beautiful as well. Support this local business. So that's what I do. Once I'm there, bam. And there's so many signs everywhere because it is a touristy place, right? A lot of these places that we go to are touristy. So a lot of the times there's signs everywhere that say, hey, guest house, hey, hotel. So you're one, supporting a local business, and two, because everyone's standards is different.
That is fabulous. I'm like, I wish I had I'm brave enough to do that one day. Now, what cities did you visit when you went to Sri Lanka?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What cities did you visit?
Okay, so I went to Trincomalee, which is a beach town in the upper north part of Sri Lanka. I went to Ella. I went to Kandy. Those are the two more famous places. I went to Colombo. I only stayed 1 or 2 nights there. I went to Gia. I'm trying to think of the other places. I think those were the ones. I know that I kind of stopped in different places along the places that I did go to.
Mm-hmm. And which one was your favorite place of those and why?
Um, I think Morella was one of the places in the south with the beaches. There's kind of a long coast. If you take the train from Colombo and you're going down the south coast, there's bunch of beaches that you can go to, and that was one of my favorite places because we were able to rent a motorbike and just go along the coast all the way up to Colombo if we wanted to, or back down and visit all of the beaches that were around there. I don't know if you recall seeing one of my photos where I'm like swinging from, well, if you check on Chasing Suli, you'll see a photo of mine where I'm swinging from like a palm tree, and I took it on one of those beaches. So because I love the beach so much, I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed Siriguilla because there were a lot of safaris there as well. There were a few towns along.
Uh-oh.
Connection problem?
I guess. Is it mine? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's probably hers. Because
Really cheap.
mine.
Let me see. Can you repeat
Oh,
that?
she's back.
I hear you.
Oh, did you lose me?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, your connection was off.
Okay, let me see if I can find like a better place. Give me just 1 minute.
Yeah.
See if I can find something. You might not see my face as much. It's a little dark, but maybe it's better here. Is this better?
Much better. Yes.
Okay, so I'm in bed. So, what was the last thing that you did here?
That you went with the motorbike on the coast, and then you stopped where the swinging thing it was.
Okay, so I stopped. So there's when you're on the coastline, take the bike or the train. I'd ride along the coast up to Colombo and back down. My favorite place was down along the beach for that reason, because we were able to visit little cities along the way to Colombo, and I also go to various beaches that were very, very beautiful. And you'll notice one of the photos I took where I was on the swing, you'll be able to see that's where I landed. One of the I landed, and it was a lot of fun, very beautiful. And one thing that I did not know actually about Sri Lanka is that they have whales. So you can actually go whale watching, which we didn't get to do, but I thought that was really incredible. Didn't know that on that side of the ocean you can see whales.
Very, very nice. And how was the conversion of the dollar to their currency?
Ooh, let me find out, actually. I have an app that I love.
Did you see like your money was worth like more or was worth less?
A long, long way. So I have this app. It's called Trail Wallet. I don't know if you see it here.
Trail Wallet.
Trail Wallet. And I will show you. Oh, you can't see it so well.
Mm-hmm.
So it says that I spent 17 days on this trip to Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent $710 in 17 days.
Whoa. That's
About
amazing.
You said 700?
$720. Yeah.
And
So it was an average of $42 a day. This was actually with my husband, so it was both of us. It did not include any flights like to the island and back. It did not include that, but it included entertainment, food. And I will just give you guys like a little preview. So for example, let's look at a date. All right. So on July 6th, when I was there, we spent $3.41 on beer. So we probably had like 4 beers. $3.41. So the beers over there are about 50 cents US. Food. Okay, the rope swing that you see me in the photo, I paid 500 Sri Lankan rupees, which is equivalent to $2.84 for the rope swing, right? In that photos, that's nice. Dinner, let's see. Oh, accommodation. So we stayed in Marissa. We stayed in a private guest house. It was like a 2-story home, I guess, and it was like a hotel room. with its own bathroom, but it was 2 stories. My friends were at the top, we were at the bottom, and we paid $8.52 for that.
Wow.
Motorbike that we used to go around the island was $4.55 per day. Gas for the day was $1.70. Our lunch, both of our lunches together, we paid a total of $4.55. For dinner, we decided to treat ourselves to a expensive dinner and paid and spent $17 total. Breakfast was $3.98, and water is 85 cents for liter.
I guess
Wow.
I know where I'm going next.
Right. You that's where I wanted to go for my honeymoon. But then, I told her that the situation happened where they had like the bombs in the hotels and stuff. And she was actually there when that happened. Tell us about that.
So we were there
Yeah.
bombing. We spent about 2 days there, and we decided to leave. Right, my husband's like, "Yeah, we can kind of ride it out," and I'm like, "No, we're leaving," because I didn't want to take the chance, given something that we have no idea about. We don't know this country. We don't know how how the riots are going to be, if there are any riots. But the days that we were there before we left, it was pretty quiet. Like, people were just trying to like get to the airport, but we had that privilege that we can just spend money and buy a ticket and just leave to Bali. Not everybody can do that. So I was very grateful for that opportunity. Um, but definitely it was a little bit scary because we had no idea what to do or how to get out of the country. We knew we were 2 hours away from Colombo, from the main airport, but we just didn't know how to get there. And the locals were telling us not to take the buses because you just never know if the bus has a bomb. And I'm like, oh crap. We ended up taking a cab to the main city, and that was what we did. But it was a very interesting experience. And after spending some time in the Philippines and Bali, we decided to go back because we didn't want to miss out on the experience of Sri Lanka and what it had to offer. And it had been maybe 2 months after the bombings, everything was kind of calming down. So we don't regret it at all.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So when you went back, do you feel like the situation was much better there, and did you actually have more fun, or how was it?
It was a lot of fun, and I felt a little bit bad for the people there because they do rely so much on tourism that they just didn't. It was quiet, and I personally like that because I kind of felt like I was on my own. I was kind of exploring the country um, pre this surge of travel that now everyone's traveling, right? So it just felt like it was very quiet, not that many tourists. So it felt nice. The prices were a little bit less. People were trying to make more money. So I I I was happy about it, and we got to meet a lot of locals, which is nice.
How was the experience with the locals? Were they embracing you? How were you
Yeah.
able to communicate? Did they speak English?
Oh yeah, they all speak English. No, I didn't. Honey. Um, he's like, "Did you get garlic?" No. Okay, so um, everyone over there, a lot of people, because it is a touristy country, a lot of people speak English. So I don't know if you've been to Thailand or the Philippines. Well, in the Philippines, everyone speaks English because they have to learn it in school. But in Thailand, especially the touristy places, most people speak English. So in Sri Lanka, it's the same way. Most people speak English, especially if you're going to the touristy places. So you wouldn't really have a problem with that. We never had a problem communicating with anyone there. And the locals definitely embraced it. They were very happy to see us, especially after that bombing. They didn't have tourists for a while, so they were very happy to have us there. And I remember going to one of the hotels, and there was one local guy who he was having a baby. His wife was at home. Um, she was like days away from having her baby, so he was just really happy. He's like, yeah, my wife's gonna cook. I'll go home and I'll bring you guys some food, and we can have a nice like family dinner here. And that's what happened at the hotel. He went to his house. His wife cooked. He brought the food. We all sat around the table at the hotel. We all ate. We listened to music. We danced.
So it was, everybody was very, very nice. I didn't have any like any racial encounters or any negativity from the locals there.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have questions? Yes, no?
um,
Give us
what,
a minute.
So in Trail Wallet, you pretty much keep track of all your expenses per day, and then you calculate at the end how much you have spent per trip.
it's like its own little like it has its own little calculator. You're able to accommodate whether it's going to be accommodation, transportation, food, entertainment, miscellaneous. So you're able to categorize everything. And once you do, you'll get like a pie chart. And let's see if I can show you. So there's a pie. Oh, you can kind of see it. There's a pie. This is so bad. Why? Okay. There's a little. Ah! Okay, there's a pie chart, and it'll tell you what you spend. So I think in Sri Lanka we spent most of our money on food. Next was entertainment. Then was accommodation. Then miscellaneous, and then transportation.
Okay.
Transportation is really, really cheap over there. Really
And
cheap.
you were comfortable with driving on the streets there?
Yeah, we were comfortable with it. One thing that did happen was we went to get gas, and in the gas station was right next to the highway. So I think they're kind of used to people getting their gas and leaving. We gave them a really high bill, and he kind of gave us, a lot less. And I counted. I was like, let me make sure they're not trying to play us. And I saw that there was some money missing. So always some money because people are gonna try to hustle. They know we're from another country. They know we can spare to lose a little bit of money, so they try sometimes, but
Hmm.
you do. You're gonna see that everywhere.
That
So
happened to
besides,
me. That happened to me in Jordan, putting money too. It was supposed to be like 23. I gave him a 40 and he gave me 10 back. And I'm like, yo, I'm supposed to get 17 back. Yeah. You were gonna say something, Serena?
so besides the bomb incident, do you feel safe just walking around, even at night?
At night, being from New York, that you're not going to be walking at night, by yourself in a place that you don't feel comfortable. So as long as you use like your New York logic, right, or like U.S. logic, you're not going to be going down an alleyway by yourself. You should be okay. And it's the same in Thailand, same in the Philippines, same anywhere that you go. You just want to make sure that you're always aware, always paying attention. And if it's night, if you don't have to be outside, don't go outside. Or if you have people that you met at a hostel or hotel or someone you're traveling with, then go with them. Never go by yourself, because I just think that just logically, if you don't know a place, you shouldn't be going out on your own, especially as women. You just never know, no matter where you are. But in general, I did feel safe out there. I felt.
Would you
How's the
recommend it
night
for
like?
someone
Like the clubs?
solo? Would
I'm
you
sorry.
recommend it for someone traveling solo?
I actually saw a lot of people traveling solo over there. I recommend anywhere that you go that you should and you can. What I did notice in my experience when I was traveling solo for 5 months, um, I always met someone, so I was never on my own. So I would go to a place, and I would meet one or two people, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're going to this country next. You want to come with us? Or we're going to this city next. You want to come with us? Okay. I never really had a plan, so it's just like, all right. I would go wherever the wind took me. And if I didn't want to go there, I would take a bus by myself. I would end up in another city. I would meet other people. And those people, I would kind of latch on to them. And I think that's similar to a lot of people who travel solo. Um, and I don't think you'll understand it until you do go to a place solo, because you open yourself up more. If I'm with my friend and I'm comfortable with my friend, I'm not going to be open to other people and their opinions and their conversations. But if I am by myself, I kind of feel like, okay, I want to talk, I want to get to know someone else, and I'll be more open to kind of sitting next to someone, asking them how they are, asking them where they're from and where they're going to next, and I won't feel like as embarrassed as if I had a friend and she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you speaking to that person?" You know. Um, so I think that as a traveler, we kind of as a solo traveler, you kind of feel like, oh, you're going to be alone the whole time. You open yourself up to meeting other people, and you kind of make connections that you would have otherwise.
Mhm. Serena was asking about the nightlife, clubbing. Did you go? How is it?
There are nightclubs, there is some clubbing, but it is a religious country, and they have I think 3 or 4 different religions. They have Christianity, um, Muslim, and what's the other one? Not Baptist, Buddhism. So, and that's the reason that they've had in the past a lot of religious war, and it's because they have so many different religions and they're like fighting with each other, which I think the last time something like that happened was 10 years ago. I don't really know the statistics, but because of that, you won't see a lot of clubs like you do in Thailand, the Philippines. They're a little bit more religious, but there will be. We didn't go to any.
So is it considered a dry
I think
country, or
it
do they?
depends on where you go. For example, Candy and Ella. Oh, I don't know if you mean dry by the weather or dry by um, partying. Like, what do you
The
mean by dry?
alcohol?
They definitely do drink. I think where in Candy and Ella, when you go to those places, they're more touristy, so you are going to see a lot of bars. You are going to see a lot more clubs. But if you're going kind of to, for example, Trincomalee, which is a beach town in the upper east side of the country, there you're not going to see bars and clubs like that. You will see liquor stores, because we did buy liquor from the stores, but you won't see many of those bars and clubs. But again, depends on where you go. Ella and Candy, definitely you're going to see bars, you're going to see clubs because it's more touristy.
More questions?
What questions do you have? Definitely a place where your money will go a long way. That's for sure. Um, Definitely a place where you can do safaris, where you can hike. They have a lot of mountains, where you can go to the beach. There's a little bit of something for everyone, and I like it a lot.
How was the flight? Was it expensive? Did you go straight?
So we took a flight to there. Okay, we bought a round trip flight or a one-way flight. I'm not sure, but we did buy our flight over there. I think it was round trip. I'm not even sure. I think it was round trip though. We paid about 550, so it had to be round trip. I would not pay that one way. So I think 150. And let me actually try to find the actual price, because now I'm curious if I can
When
find it.
did you go? Because did you go like high season, low season?
I went. It was March 25th when we went over there. I'm not sure if that's considered high season or low season. Let me quickly look and remind. All right, so high season is December to April, and that's their summer. So we went March 25th, or like March 22nd. The bombing happened, and so then we returned in July. So July is supposed to be low season because high season is December to April. So if you put it that way, then we were technically there during low season in July.
And how is the weather like? Is it like super hot?
It's super hot. It was super hot. And I was surprised that low season was super hot. But they do also have their rainy season, and it depends on what part of the country you're in. So in some parts of the country it's rainy season, and the other part of the country it's dry season. So depending on where you go, it's going to be a little bit more wet, and depending on when you go, it will be more wet. So in July I thought it was going to rain. It didn't rain.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of got lucky with that, but it just depends on when you go.
Can the girls wear whatever they want? Is so many different kind of religions.
Oh, so
Oh, okay. Write this down, Vanessa.
Yeah.
now, so I wore whatever I wanted. I had like my mini little skirts and my mini dresses. I had like a yellow dress that was like this. And I remember stopping in a place that there were more Muslim women there. They were like more covered up, and I could see that they were staring at me. They probably thought I was something that I wasn't. But I mean, it depends on if you care or not. I know that if you go to some countries, maybe you want to respect the way that they do things, so you want to dress a little more conservative. But for me, I feel more comfortable being myself, so I just wear whatever I want, depending. I didn't know that there were different religions when I first went, so maybe I would have changed, but maybe I wouldn't have. I don't know. I know that I wore in that little place I wore that, but when we did travel back to where our hotel was, everyone was dressed differently because the religion was different, or the groups of people were different in that area. So I would say you can't win. You can't always win.
So just be mindful which area you go to that day and visit.
Mhm.
Maybe
But we
maybe bring a scarf or a sweater.
so
Did the food change too based on the regions that you went?
the what changed?
The food.
Food. It was more or less the same. So their food is similar to Indian food, Southern Indian food, because India is so huge that they have different food. But it was more or less the same. Lots of Samoas, lots of curry chicken, rice, and I wish I had photos to show you.
Mhm.
Photos on my Instagram, but like food photos.
Mhm. So they're not necessarily vegetarian. They are open to many things, but they just don't eat
They
meat.
are open to everything, but they also have a lot of vegetarian and vegan options. Um, because they eat a lot of different lentils and beans and like and vegetables that they like stew and curry and everything. So you can definitely, if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you can definitely go to that country and be okay. Yeah.
Have you ever had a bad experience? I know that you mentioned that you book hotels when you arrive and transportation, I think. Have you ever had a bad experience of, for example, arriving and all the cars are gone? Like there's no cars that you have access to or hotels?
Yeah, but I always seem to make it work. I'm
Yeah,
a
I heard of that.
discover. So I make sure that I figure it out. But there have been times that we go to a place and we have no idea that it's going to be like high season, or that
Yeah.
just in Nicaragua. In Nicaragua, it was Christmas, New Year's season, and we were having trouble finding a place. And the reason we had a lot of trouble finding a place was not because there weren't places available; they were just really expensive or out of our budget. So we were spending $60 for a double room when normally we would spend $10. So that was just, it was really hard, like handing that over. But that's the reason it was difficult for us. So if it was someone else whose budget was higher and they were going to, during those holidays, they wouldn't feel like, oh, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
They can't spend the extra $50. They were, oh yeah, okay, it's fine. Oh, this place is, it's not that nice, but at least it's available. So
Yeah.
for us, because our budget was lower. In terms of transportation, I remember also in Nicaragua recently, we had to take a bus because we had to catch a flight. And because it was the holidays, like New Year's Day, there were not that many buses. There was no real schedule. So we kind of had to just figure it out. And so we took a cab to one bus station. They're like, oh no, we don't have enough people. So we're not. So we took another cab to another bus station. So it was a little more stressful. But I think in these countries, a lot of times they don't have such a schedule like we have, like here in the US. You go on the website, there's an available schedule. You know what it is.
Yeah.
And so you do long-term travel like I do, I have a little bit of time to just be like, whatever, we can't leave today. Let's just stay here another day. Let's sit by the beach and then we'll leave tomorrow. But if you're only traveling for maybe a week or 2 weeks, that's a little harder. You can't just be spontaneous like that.
In these circumstances, where do you exchange your money? So since you're arriving, I think you don't have time to figure out where you can do the exchange. When you arrive, if it's the first time, where do you do it? Or how do you?
So let's see. I think this time when I did leave, well, actually, no. Okay, so I have two debit cards that I use. The first debit card that I purchased, that I did open up was Capital One 360. It's an online Capital One account where they don't charge you fees. They don't charge you any foreign exchange fees, and they also don't charge you any transaction fees to withdraw money from your account. The only fee that you pay is the ATM fee. Whatever that ATM is charging you, that's what you pay. So I noticed that you lose a lot less money doing that because you don't have to pay anything. Whereas if you take money from the US, you don't know how much money to take. You take maybe 500 US dollars, you go there, you go to the little box and you exchange your money and they're already taking a certain percentage. I thought with the Capital One 360, it was perfect because I only paid one ATM fee. And in order to make the money last, you take out as much as you can and you only paid one ATM fee. Then with time, I found another debit card company, which is Charles Schwab. They're actually they're not really they're a bank, but they're more like a stock company, like like Vanguard. And they don't charge anything. So they actually give you the ATM fees back, and they don't charge you any ATM fees on their end. So if the ATM charges you $5, they usually give it back to you at the end of the month, and they don't charge any foreign fees. So I thought this is this is the best card that you can use, where you can get on the ATM, get the money that you need. You know that you're not going to be charged a percentage. You know that you're not going to be charged an ATM fee, or you're going to get that money back, and you can kind of just take as much money as you need without having to carry so much money in your bags and be afraid that you have $500 worth of currency and you might lose it or get robbed.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course, yeah, definitely check it out. We were able to just go in, take out money. We didn't have to take so much. We took out maybe for 3 days. And if we lost our bag or it got stolen, we would be okay because it wasn't so much.
Got it.
And did you carry the cards with you, or where did you put them?
Yeah, so I had my little belly bag and I would carry the bag in there. Manny had his wallet and I would give him the card. And if there's always ATMs everywhere. You're always going to find an ATM. So we would take out money that way. I wasn't really afraid of losing the card, but I also had my Capital One card in case I would take one card and I would leave the other one just in case I lost it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I always take, when I travel anywhere, I always take a few debit cards, but I leave most of them, in a protected place, and I only take one with me when I leave the hotel or the hostel or the guest house.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Very good. And going back to the transportation, she shared with me that when she went to Nicaragua, she didn't even have a ride to go from the airport to the city. You became friends with our family, and the family gave you the ride.
I only do this because I'm with my husband. My husband is tall, so. But maybe I don't know. I'm frugal that way. So I think it was, when did we leave? We left December 24th. We arrived December 25th. There wasn't as many cabs, or the cabs were upcharging to get out of the airport. So we left the airport. We went to a hotel across the street. We asked them how much it would cost to go to another city. They told us that it would be X amount, and I said, no, I'm not paying that. So we went back to the airport, and we decided we're just gonna wait till 7 a.m. I think we arrived at 3 in the morning. We'll wait till 7 a.m. and then we can kind of probably get a better price in the taxi, or we can get to the bus station, or so that from the bus station we can go to the city that we want to go to. And so there was a lady who, she was kind of just sitting in the airport, and I don't know how I got to speaking to her, but she said that she was waiting on her daughters to come and pick her up. She's from Florida, you know, she immigrated to Florida a long time ago. And we kind of just got to talking, and I was like, do you think that like, are you heading this way, or do you think that your family can drop us there? And she's like, yeah, for sure, like that's not a problem. So I feel like it's kind of like meeting someone at the airport in LA, and you're just like,
Ubering somewhere.
you're going down to, yeah, you're going to go to Orange County, and they're going to Orange County too, and you kind of strike up a conversation, and you're like, hey, Lucky, can I ride with you? I'm like, all right, okay, let's do it.
What city were you going to?
I was going to Granada.
I love Granada.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's like an hour away from the airport, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
But yeah, that's just super adventurous and super
We're
like.
so adventurous. I love it. I love it.
I don't find it so adventurous, but everyone tells me that it is. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess it's adventurous.
Because people like plan things and people like certainty, and like you go with the flow.
But you know what? I'm only like that when I'm on vacation, because now being home, I'm like, all right, I have this to-do list. I have to do this and this and this and this.
Oh,
and this
that's
and
so interesting.
oh, what's going on? So
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, Serena is leaving us, but she said, "Thank you, Zuleika. You got me excited about Sri Lanka. Definitely adding it to my list now. Got to go. See you tomorrow, Serena. Thank you for joining.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye." Oh.
yeah. So it was, yeah, Sri Lanka was very beautiful. It was very nice. I definitely recommend it to everyone who wants to go. And if you want more information, you can just DM me. I don't know if you guys have Instagram. I know Vanessa, you have Instagram, but
Yeah, they all do.
Chasing Zuli, and I can answer more of your questions, or like maybe drop an itinerary on the stuff that I did and where I stayed. That way, you know,
Do you have a blog or anything that we can like follow your?
I don't.
It makes me want to know more. It's like, okay, so your next travels, what did you have planned exactly, and what didn't you have planned?
What?
I love it.
In April 5th, actually, and
Where were you going?
right to Seychelles.
Okay.
To Seychelles, and my trip didn't get canceled, but the country said that they're not accepting anyone from America or from Australia or Europe or Iran, given our situation right now. So I'm a little bit sad about it, because we got really good, cheap tickets to Seychelles for $350 round trip.
Wow. From New York, right?
And those tickets are usually over $1,000.
Mm-hmm. Are you team carry on, or do you check in a luggage?
So I have my bag. Oh yes, I do. Let me show you.
So that makes it even more affordable if you just pick up and go with your bag.
Oh, sorry. I literally have it next to my bed. This is my book bag, and you'll be surprised at how much fits in there.
What's the brand? Tell us. I want to buy it now.
Brand, I think it's 30 liters. I actually got my friends to go backpacking with me. It was kind of backpacking. They cheated a little bit, but they bought book bags. And my friend, she travels a lot. She travels maybe 4 to 5 days. Sometimes, you know, like we normally do. We take 4 to 5 weeks out of the year. We travel like 4 to 5 days. We go to these islands. And she normally goes with her, you know, big luggages, and she stays as a resort. She does her thing. And I told her, come back with me to Nicaragua. Let's do this thing. And she's like, really? I'm like, buy a book bag. And she was so surprised at how much she could fit in there. She almost didn't wear everything. You know, she had like, I told her, take 5 pairs of flats. You can kind of squeeze those in. Take as many bathing suits as you want. You know, we're a little bit more petite, so our clothes, you know, can fit. Unlike men, that their shirts are huge. And she was like, I'm gonna do this from now on, because you know, you don't wear everything all the time, and a lot of times when you go to a place, depending on how long you go, because I think we went for 3 weeks,
if you go for 5 days, you're gonna pack your heels, you're gonna pack your nice, little outfits because you want to take a picture every day with a nice outfit. But we were able to do that with the outfits that we have. And I think I brought I brought 10 bathing suits, I brought 10 shirts, 2 pair of jeans, 4 shorts, 2 skirts. I was able to bring a lot of clothes, even though the bag was so small. I don't know. We pack it like really. It's really tight. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that bag's bigger than we thought.
When it's summer, it makes it easier, right? The
Definitely.
clothes are so small.
Going hiking or to Latin America, down where you're gonna go hiking, then it's different. You need a little bit bigger. You can still bring one of those, but you'll have your boots. You'll have your maybe camping gear. There's people who actually bring their hammocks. They bring their sleeping bags. So it depends on what kind of trip you're gonna take. But I have seen people who go to South America. Their bags are bigger than mine, maybe 60 liters, and they take everything.
Oh wow.
But yeah.
And how do you find those cheap flights? Spill the beans.
So I usually go on skiplab.com.
Skiplat?
Skiplab, Laggett. They're synonymous for getting trips that are or having tickets from one place to another with a layover. So let's say you want to go to California, and there's this flight, and it goes from New York to LA to San Francisco, and you want to go to LA. What they do is they find a flight that's from New York to San Francisco with a layover in LA, and they tell you to take that flight. So a lot of times it might be cheaper to take this flight than one that's directly to LA for whatever reason. And so that's kind of what they do. You're going to see a lot of flights like that, but that means you can't check your bag, because if you do, you're going to have to go to San Francisco and look for it.
Yeah. What I've heard is that sometimes they make you check your bag, and then that's when it's messed up.
They're so annoying.
Because even though you're going to get off in LA, your bag is going to go straight to San Francisco.
Know when that will happen if you don't get to the flight on time and there's no space on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get there later and like they're boarding already and you're one of the last 20, 30 people and they're like, well, we don't have any space, you have to check the bag, that's when you're effed. So in that case, you definitely have to go early and make that line really quick so you can have some space.
Very good.
Normally when I do those trips within the US, I take the smaller bag. I literally take like a backpack so I can put it under the seat.
Yeah. Sometimes if your flight is basic economy, because I have booked that one, there could be space, but because you have a basic economy and whoever's helping you that day will not help you, and they'll just check it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It depends on the airlines, because some of them basic economy allow you to bring a carry-on and some don't. Like United doesn't. But if you take like Delta,
Vanessa.
Because I've read.
I know. That's who I'm speaking of.
Don't go United.
Because I lived in Newark when I live in New York. And Newark, that's their hub. So I'm like, I always make sure never to take United.
Yeah.
And I have points with them, but it's like you have points with these companies. You have points for 5 years and you never get a free flight. I hate points with them.
The best airline that I know that has the biggest overhead is Alaskan Airlines. Mm-hmm. The overhead fits like a whole luggage if you want to.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I love Alaska Airlines.
But I think that you take them more because you're in California, right? They're close.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of flights coming out of San Francisco, a lot of them.
Yeah. My husband wanted to kill me just in December before we got married because I booked the flight and I booked basic economy I was not paying attention on that. I'm like, oh, it's a great price. And so I had my wedding dress on my carry-on, and I was planning on bringing it with me. And the first flight, it was fine. The lady was super understanding. She let me go, and we put it on top. But my connecting flight, they were assholes. Oh my God. And did they take my bag? No, they didn't take my bag, but there was a meltdown.
Oh my God.
Because they couldn't, the person in the front said yes, but the person in the back said no, and they had me back and forth. And one was trying to be nice, the other wasn't. And and mind you, this was like 1 a.m., so I was tired. I'm like, what do you want me to do with my bag? Like, just, yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I'm sorry you went through that. Now, Suli, you take beautiful photography, or your husband takes beautiful photography. Like if you go to her Instagram, you will see. So tell us about that. What do you do to get those poses, which are like, I'm like, whoa.
So we tried a lot of things. We got a tripod, and we kind of like put the settings so that it takes 5 pictures in 10 seconds, and we kind of just try to be natural, like, oh, what do we do? It's pretty awkward if you look at the behind the scenes because we don't know what to do half the time. But if we kind of just move around, something will come out of it. And then we bought this, what's called an intervalometer that you plug into the camera, and it'll take a picture every X seconds. So we do every second. And so we get in front of the camera, we like turn, we twist, we kiss, we jump, we whatever, and it ends up taking a picture every second. And so sometimes you get really good ones, sometimes it's really bad ones.
So it's called
intervalometer,
intervalometer.
or it can be a setting right on your camera that does it, or you can have an app that you connect to the camera, and the app will act as an intervalometer instead of you having to buy one. The app will be one.
Mm-hmm.
And so you take your photos that way, and just make sure that the settings are, when you do your settings on your camera, they're what is it called, where you can take a photo even if you're moving very fast. The shutter speed is high.
Okay.
Because if you're moving, because you're going to be moving, if the shutter speed is high, it'll always catch that moment,
Instead of like your hand moving and like it's like a.
Exactly.
Okay. What I've tried to do before, because I didn't know this, is that I will take a video and then out of the video take a screenshot. That's what I do. Because I'm like, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, that definitely works too. It's just the quality won't be as good because you're like cutting it from a clip.
I know.
I saw it.
So what camera do you use?
So we have a Canon SL2. That was our first camera. And then we got a Sony A7 III. And we've been learning to use that camera because it's such a good camera. But our knowledge is not as use that camera because it's such a professional camera. So we're learning how to use it. You don't know how to use the camera. You're not gonna take nice pictures. You have to know how to use it.
That's why I haven't gone to buy a camera, because I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
But I guess YouTube will have a lot of videos on how to use.
It's just like, are you going to take the time to look through to see which ones are the better ones, or will you pay someone to just show you everything? I tend to just try to look as much as I can and learn by myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orlando, do you have any questions?
Orlando, where are you?
Oh, but I'm just.
We are both in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you're in New York, right?
Yeah, it's 8:00 here.
See, the sun is not letting me. It's still out.
You have you humans have both your little palm trees on the side or your little plant.
Just embracing this time indoors.
It was raining though for the past 2 days, but the sun is out today, so that's good.
How
Yeah.
have you been spending your Corona time?
I've just been like working a lot in the computer. My butt hurts sometimes from sitting down so much. On my phone a lot, watching Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix and chilling.
Uh, Nothing exciting. I went out. To the supermarket 2 days ago, but not even. You order the food online and you go pick it up. They put it in your car. You don't even have to get out of your car. They put it in your trunk. So I'm like, that was my trip. It's 10 minutes away.
I
Here, I
knew,
think Chipotle is.
Yeah.
I knew you could do that with Target. I didn't know you could do that with Safeway.
Yes, you can.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You
You
know,
have to do it in advance because, for example, we on Thursday we set up one for like Tuesday, like that far in advance.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
a lot. How do you know what to anticipate on Tuesday? Don't take the last garlic. We won't have any until Tuesday.
I mean, they replace things that they don't have, or they say we don't have it any longer, and then they refund you the money. And also, we've been doing Blue Apron, which we've been doing since before. We've subscribed to them for 2 years already, and
Damn.
so at least we have our meals
So
for
you
the
really
week, and then the other things are like supplementals. Yeah.
I really like it because Blue Apron is they usually give you like how many meals do you call? I know my friend does 1 meal or 5 meals and one. I don't know.
We do 4, I believe, 4 a week. So because before we used to buy groceries and they will spoil quickly. So this at least is the exact amount and there is nothing that goes to waste. I don't like accumulating food. I like to buy it like in the moment I'm gonna eat it, and then it's clear, and then I get more.
Okay. Yeah, normally that's what we. Well, when we actually try to make a list of what we need, go in and get that. And Manny, I tell him he can only get like 1 or 2 like bad foods. Like he'll get like a pizza and ice cream, because if not, I'll eat it, and I don't want to eat it. I want to try to stay healthy. So, and then we basically cook everything that we have in the fridge, and then we have our meals in the fridge. That's how we do it.
Yeah, that's why this works for us. Just for you. I'm not a snacker. I could drink water all day, and then I have my 3 meals, and even 2 sometimes is enough for me. A big breakfast and then a big dinner, and I don't have to eat lunch. I'm good.
I really wish that I could drink a lot of water because I don't. My thirst mechanism is like, whoop.
Yeah.
What time do you eat dinner, Vanessa?
Oh,
What time do you eat dinner?
I will say starting at 6, 7-ish. Yeah. He cooks more than me, so
Yeah.
I'm good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, or how do you pronounce your name? Orlenda?
Orlando, yeah.
Are you gonna go to Sri Lanka?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'm definitely going. You're going? Let's go.
Yes. I never thought about, I mean, your, like, the title, right, is very catchy. And I'm like, yeah, what is that? So definitely, I'm going to look it up and learn more about it and photos, see what that looks like.
Screen share. Right after I put my computer to charge. I'm gonna screen share and show you this.
Are there direct flights, or do you have to make connections?
I think there was a connection in the Middle East somewhere. Yeah, there was a connection in the Middle East, and that's where we did ours. I think there are direct flights, but I usually don't take them because they are more expensive. Okay, I hope that you can see this. Hey, where is it? What did I do? Am I off? No, I'm not. Okay, what am I doing? Can you see my screen?
No, but I could do share. Is it share screen?
Oh, I see. I see where it is. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay. All right, can you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
So these are some of my little stories. Let's see. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, I can't believe this is 39 weeks ago. So this is like the breakfast. One of my favorites here. Oh my goodness. This was filled with shaved coconut that was inside of shaved coconut inside of like sugar and honey. Just
Yeah.
really
Oh.
so good. There's like monkeys around the place.
Oh my gosh, they're big.
This place, it was only $6 a night. We had our own private room, beautiful terrace.
And how did you find this place?
When we met, actually recommended it.
Oh.
Somewhere recommended it. They're like, oh, you're going there? Yeah, stay at Kingdom K. Nice. That's good.
Do you share the rooms with other people, or it's just you and your husband?
Oh, now that we like travel more together, now that we're traveling together more, we have a room by ourselves. It's like a guest room. Yeah.
Okay. Because I always wondered about that in hostels. I'm like, if someone is snoring, you know.
Depends. Like we don't do hostels as much anymore. When we first met, we did a lot more hostels because we wanted to meet other people.
Mm-hmm.
But we were going on a safari and it was $35. So
We're gonna see elephants today. So, you ready for a safari adventure?
we actually had it for ourselves. It was just us.
Yeah.
Because it's low secret.
Wow. I'm gonna need the name of that lipstick you're wearing.
Color Pop.
Color Pop?
Color Pop is the brand. I'm not sure which color it was.
Aww.
We did a little hike that day.
Wow.
We met this couple. They were locals. They had just gotten married and they were tying like holy ties on each other for good luck. Really nice. Aziz and Julie, we met them in the Philippines, and they said that they were going to head to Sri Lanka. No, we told them that they should head to Sri Lanka with us, and they're like, all right, let's do it. So they went there, and they had the time of their lives.
You know what's funny?
Wow.
Seafood. Very, very good fish. We went snorkeling out there as well. Oh, this is some of the food. Really, really good. It looks like, I guess not, but it's so tasty.
It looks like a lot of food too. Oh my God, it looks so yummy.
You won't
Emma,
have
please. Are you?
You're making me hungry.
No.
He was so sweet. He took us fishing with him. What he does is he uses this to catch shrimp at night, and then he uses the shrimp in the morning to go fishing. It's nice.
Wow.
I want to.
So a lot of locals are very curious. They want to talk to you. I think he was taking us out to eat some to the fish market. He didn't want us to get played.
Has to leave to go get your food.
And that was the cook at one of the restaurants, so she didn't have, I think, soda water. So she left to bring us some soda water, which is really sweet as well.
Mm-hmm. There is also something that is called the Ambuluawa Tower. Did you go there?
No, what was that?
It's this tower. I will show you in a little bit when you finish. It's like you go all around. But keep showing us that, and I'll show you later
Yes.
what it is.
When I finish this, maybe you can put it in the screen.
Coming
Screen share for a second.
And this is how you eat Sri Lankan food.
So they eat with their hands.
Yes.
Wow. Did you see any Latinos there?
No Latinos.
No. That's why we need people like you to show us so we can make it there.
Yeah.
I want to see more Latinos out there as well.
Don't
Oh, that's
worry. We're gonna make it happen.
wearing.
Hi, Tay. She
Hi, okay,
joined
I'm here.
us.
Hi.
She's showing us her
Let me
stories.
turn it up. Okay, what are we looking at? Oh, her videos.
Her videos from Sri Lanka, yes.
Lanka videos on
Oh, I love that.
Oh, this is cute.
4-hour train ride. That's
Do you show the pictures there of you hanging from the train?
I don't know if it's here.
Our
I think it's
welcome
on
drink.
on the page.
Danu, thank you for the welcome drinks.
The people there are very, very nice. Very welcome.
Little Adams Peak and go to the Nine Arc Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting on the back of a truck.
So you're sitting on the back of a truck. Oh my God, I love it.
Food, amazing
Rice
food.
and curry.
And they, oh yeah, this is one thing. The reason that Sri Lanka has a huge, hey, where'd it go? The reason that Sri Lanka has a huge train system is because they have a lot of tea in their country. And because they farm so much tea, they use the trains to take them to, Colombo, and from there they would ship it out to the UK and other countries. So they have a very vast system of trains.
Down the bridge. Infamous Sri Lankan bridge.
Nine Orange Bridge.
They also love crickets. And this is the second safari that we went on.
We went to leopard, but I'm not sure.
I love monkeys. They can be evil and they can be very nice.
Yeah. Hey there.
Lots of animals.
Mm-hmm. He attacked you?
No.
You just said imagine if he did that.
Oh man. That's just like, what do you do at that point?
How's the water? How hot is the water on the beach?
It's warm.
Warm?
It's definitely warm. Yeah, it's not super crazy when you get in. Obviously, it's a little bit cold, but it's super safe.
How many different cities did you visit?
7 to 10 cities. Some of them being Freaking Marissa, Colombo, Nogombo.
Did you fly into Colombo?
Yeah, I flew into Colombo.
Okay.
And from there, I decided to take a lot of the train transportation system and some buses. More fish.
Ooh, yum.
Beautiful.
The majority.
So I'm a
But yeah, the picture of me hanging out the train. Oh, this one. Thank
Oh, right there. Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty.
you.
Really nice.
I
How
was.
fast was it going?
I don't know. It was going too fast. It doesn't go really, really fast. I think maybe like, I don't know, 50 miles per hour. It wasn't too fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that is amazing.
Mhm.
All right, you can share what you wanted to.
So this is the picture
Ooh.
of the tower, and it's supposed to be really, really high. A friend of mine, he was there, and he got a feature. I think it was Lonely Planet or something like that, because he climbed it,
Oh, I saw that.
and he was recording at the same time.
I remember. I saw that. It went viral.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's really
So
cool.
look,
I was like,
he's like sideways trying to record at the same time.
That's really cool.
Okay, that's better. I had it like you guys were so little over here on the side, so I had to click and change it.
Oh,
So
okay.
now I can see.
Can you
Oh yeah.
see
That guy. Yeah.
Tyson? Yeah,
Yes.
he's a friend of mine. We went to
He was
we met in
crazy.
South Africa years ago.
You met in South Africa?
We met in South Africa about 6 years ago or something like that.
Look at your background, Vanessa.
What?
Look at your background.
Oh, yes. You just know. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, I want to go there. And it is close to the city that you mentioned, Candy, with a K.
Yes.
Is close to there. So if you ever want to go, it's called Ambuluwawa Tower.
Wawa Tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to confront your fears.
Which airline did you take to get there?
It was Kuwait Airlines.
Oh, Kuwait. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We had to stop at Kuwait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's somewhere I've always wanted to go. I was telling Vanessa earlier, is that Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Tibet are those are my top 3 go-to places. Like no matter where else I go in the world, I have to get to those places. Probably mainly, especially, I think Tibet is first. I'm not sure if it's Tibet or Nepal, but they're there, the 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I was telling you, Vanessa, in the group earlier. It's an incredible country. There's so much to do there, and it has just a little bit of stuff for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see beaches, you'll see mountains, you'll see trains, you'll see safaris. It's just really nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you stay in a hotel or did you do Airbnb, or what was your accommodation?
Hotels, and I don't think I did hostels this time, but I did guest houses and hotels.
Okay.
We try to do more guest houses than anything because they're more low cost and we're more low budget when we travel for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to keep it like that. I was telling them that I spent in 17 days $710.
Wait. What?
Exactly.
Wait. It took me a second because I heard you say 7, and I thought you said 1,000, and I go, wait, 700.
$720 in 17 days.
Food,
So,
everything.
food and accommodation, not the flight.
What?
Accommodation. Yeah. And their rent was about $550, something like that.
Wow.
Number. But it was, it's a place that I recommend because it has so much. It's cheap.
Yeah.
You can bargain. There's always a taxi guy right behind the other one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot built for tourism. So there's hotels, there's guest houses, and depending on your budget, you can find something very, very nice for a low price, or very standard for a low price. So your money stretches.
Cool.
Right. Do you have any more questions, Steve?
Oh, just wanted to ask, like, did you eat street foods? Have you been to India before to compare any kind of? No, okay. Did you try street food at all?
Seafood? or street food?
Street.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
my braces.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Street food. Sorry, I keep biting my mouth. I'm sorry, I bite my mouth.
It's okay.
Okay. Street.
Mm-hmm. I ate street food.
Yeah.
And it was really good. It was whenever we had like a long bus journey, we would get off on one of the stops, buy like those samosas, those little roll things, or the triangle ones, whatever they're called. They were so good.
Mm-hmm.
With spices.
Did you guys sick at all? Did you or not? Or, no.
Did we get?
Uh-huh.
I didn't get sick. Manny really gets more sick than I do. I got sick in Nicaragua, but I think I got like the chikungunya. You remember that mosquito-borne illness? You know, there's Zika, there's dengue, and then there's chikungunya.
Oh, okay.
And when I went to Nicaragua earlier, last year, I got really sick with that. Yeah.
Mm. Because I know in India, people get what is called like jelly belly, isn't it called? And people have to drink like oregano tea and stuff like that. So I was wondering if you...
No, I did not. But I know some people who do, depending if they get traveler's diarrhea or jelly belly. Never heard of jelly belly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining and for giving us all of this info about Sri Lanka. I'm like super excited and I really, really want to go now. It was one of the places that I wanted to go for my honeymoon, actually. And my husband wanted to go to Mauritius. So we were going to go to both places. But then it just never happened because we immediately bought a home within 2 months of being married. And things, then he got accepted here at Stanford. And we never got the chance.
Yeah.
But it's still in the top of my list.
Yes.
And now with this thing, the coronavirus, I'm like,
I know.
I'm homebound.
Sharing it, I mean, taking us on a journey, right? We're stuck at home, but thanks for taking us on that journey today.
Definitely. I love looking at your videos and listening to you speak about it. And I'm so excited to go.
Well, I hope all of you get to go. And if you have more questions, just DM me. And I think Vanessa will give you my Instagram so you guys can, look at any more of the videos and pictures.
Yeah, I'd love to look at more.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
And have a beautiful day.
You too.
Bye.